Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we're back with yet another Total War Warhammer 3 video. It's going to be a busy day, my friends. Now, we've got the Ogre Kingdom units that have been showcased today in the battles, and we'll be able to have a proper look at them. There's a video panning over them, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it play out and stop at anything of importance. We're not going to look at all the individual units, as I'm assuming that a full roster will be confirmed soon enough. This is not the full roster, of course, but anything that might be quite interesting to point out, which we usually don't see talked about in the roster reveals, it'll be fun to talk about, and this is the first proper time we're going to get a very close-up look to the units. As always, any stats that you can see are development in progress, so they are subject to change should anything happen when Creative Assembly works on future builds. Okay, so we're able to stop off right here. 2 units of Noblars, we already knew this, and they're expendable. Again, we kind of guessed this. Though the Noblar Trappers are something quite interesting, as their passive ability is quite good. Minus 45% speed, minus 45% charge speed, and minus 40% charge bonus. Now, as always, this can be subject to change because that seems way too overpowered for a Noblar, but it is nice to know that we are going to get something to reduce charge bonus, which will come in handy versus, well, Slaanesh, because it's highly mobile, and pretty much anything that uses a lot of cavalry or moving units. Kislev will also have some cavalry and stuff like that, so this is pretty good. So we've seen Ogre Bulls before, but this is quite important, the fact that they have Wallbreaker. I'm assuming that a lot of the Ogres will be able to do this because, well, it just makes sense. This is an army that's not going to be able to climb up walls, so this is going to help out a lot. Having pretty much everything with Wallbreaker, well, anything that's a monstrous unit upwards, will be pretty cool.
Eaters! Let Bertsche! Biggest in the tribe! What face we're gonna have! Mournfang cavalry!
Interestingly enough, even monstrous cavalry like Mournfang cavalry are going to have access to Wallbreaker. It's obviously going to make sieges a lot more bearable for a faction that can't climb walls. I wonder what's the point of Noblars then? Possibly just early trash and that's it? Because, well, you don't really need them, do you?
Crushers!
Fanatics away!
Just stopping right here very quickly, I imagine that that is just a placeholder, so don't get up in arms about it. They probably just have some placeholders so when people play with it to test it, it's not just a unit that makes no noise. Okay, so the Firebelly Fire Breath is coming as its own bound spell, which is quite good. We'll actually see a lot of the famous stuff from the Firebelly just embedded into the character, and I'm quite happy about that, so that means that they get a lot of the lore of fire as a baseline magical lore.
Who kind eat butcher?
Interesting, so Skrag is going to be able to generate more winds of magic as he's engaged in melee, which does make sense. He is a melee caster hybrid, so it's going to be quite interesting to see him there and gaining more winds of magic, just benefiting from just throwing him in and doing as much damage as possible. And we've had the whole spell lore of the Lore of the Great Moor shown off, which is just from the icons and so on. If you want to go back, you can easily rewind. This is why I wanted to do these videos, because it can show some stuff off which we haven't seen before, and it's just nice to see the models up close. And they've even showcased Skrag's famous item, the Cauldron of the Great Moor, which is pretty interesting, as what you can see here is it provides regeneration, but only for Gorgers, which is actually pretty cool. Look at this. It's even better if the unit is in close combat. So I'm imagining with Skrag, as goes his lore, you'll want to have as many Gorgers in your army as possible. And well, this sounds pretty cool. It's one of those armies that you're going to have quite themed as, well, you get a lot of bonuses, I'm imagining. I'm imagining that Skrag is going to have a lot of bonuses in baseline traits to boost up the capabilities of all the Ogres, which I think is going to be quite fun. I am leaning towards this character, but then again, we still have to see Greasus, and I'm imagining that that's going to be a while. Okay, so there's 3 different battle bonuses, and we've seen that pretty much every race so far has had access to this. These are gained by getting prisoners for the Ogres, which you gain prisoners by killing enemy units that are routing or have shattered. It's a tier system too, which is different. It's very different. We've had a stripped down version of that in Warhammer 2 with like the Tomb Kings and obviously the Dark Elves, but this is interesting. The first is Dismember, which is a hex. It reduces the acceleration, speed, and charge speed of a unit. This is pretty cool. Its effect range is 55 meters, so I'm assuming it's an area of effect, and it's got a cooldown of 120 seconds. That's not too bad. It lasts for 23 seconds, which can do a lot of damage to cavalry units, well, slowing them down to be able to be picked off. The second is Massacre, which is an augment area of effect. It increases armor-piercing weapon damage, base weapon damage, and makes your units cause terror. Your units will naturally cause fear, but this will help out when you need that extra boost. It's pretty cool, I like this. Its area of effect is 35 meters, its duration is 26 seconds, and the cooldown is 120 seconds. As always, we don't know if this is going to get some balancing, as it could be reduced or even heightened. And the last is Butcher, which causes regeneration. I'm assuming this is on a singular unit, as it would be overpowered if it was army-wide or just on an area of effect. And it lasts for 18 seconds, cooldown for 120 seconds. You could use this on your big beasties, and it will keep them up and running. This is still pretty cool, I like this, and I'm actually quite impressed. So this is pretty much everything when it comes to the Ogres. Keep in mind that this was just for a closer look of the units so we could look at the models. This is obviously not the final stats until some stuff comes in for balancing, and it's not the final roster either, but we've been able to see a bunch of stuff, especially that new mechanic. So we're going to be doing this with the other factions too, because this could obviously be quite fun, and it won't be too long until those videos come out. It's a very busy day, let's just be honest about that. What do you think about the new mechanic? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and let's start a bit of a discussion. But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like, or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description section below are various links to different social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and Discord. Also in the description section is an affiliate link with Element Games where you could buy loads of hobby-based products, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Making a purchase using that link and also our special code, which is also in the description, supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons. Your support means the world to us. It's amazing that people want to help a small channel like us grow and get to a higher level of content. A big thank you to Gibraltar LUSC, Ryan Bertsche, Andrew Prince, and Ogre for subscribing to us at our Fane level. You guys are super cool. And a big thank you to Edward Yule, VS Vasan, Aaron Whitman, and Shaggy for subscribing to us at our King level. Honestly, we can't thank you all enough. And lastly, a big thank you to all of you for liking, sharing, and commenting on these videos. Honestly, it's because of you guys that the channel has been growing at such a great pace lately, so we can't thank you all enough. But with that, my friends, thank you so much for watching once again, and we shall see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.